I'm Curtis Young, and my wife and I, Nancy, have a son, Andrew, who lives in House 7 and has lived there for almost 11 years now. How do I characterize Andrew's experience? I think that from the immediate second that he moved into his group home, his level of independence and growth was astonishing, and that continues to this day. And my wife Nancy and I are so proud of him, and he has a nickname, by the way, in his house. He's called the Fixer, and he's called the Fixer because he wants to make sure that everybody, A, is doing the right thing, and B, everybody's happy. And so that's his job at House 7, is to be the fixer. I also happen to be an ex-board member of Community Homes, longtime board member, I think 14 years. Part of Community Homes' job and responsibilities is to make sure that we're supplying a very safe environment. And I have to believe that some of our community in a situation where power goes out is probably pretty frightening for them. As a board, we came to the conclusion that we needed to acquire generators and install them in all 7 of our adult family homes at the time. And I volunteered to take on that job of running that, and I approached my very good friend John Crivello at Pape Machinery, and through his magic of bartering and getting people to work with him, he had 7 generators donated to the organization, and our only problem at that juncture was finding the money to have them installed. And unfortunately, that took a while to do, but we're starting that process now. Kind of got to be a little bit of a joke around the shop that all Curtis wanted to talk about was generators, which was true. But here we are in 2024, through the great efforts of our great leader, Marcy, and it's very heartwarming to see that happen. Community Homes has a huge responsibility as not only a landlord, but a homeowner, and all of us who are homeowners realize that things fall apart and things break, and they have to be fixed and they have to be maintained. And that's a huge responsibility, and it takes money. And that's why you're all here today at our breakfast.
I'm Tana Sen, State Representative from the 41st Legislative District. The 41st includes Newcastle, Mercer Island, Issaquah, Sammamish, and Bellevue. Housing is just a basic building block of dignity, and for people with disabilities, having a home base, having somewhere for the long term that they can live and put down roots is so important for their stability and for their happiness too. Community Homes is so great in reaching out to legislators in the 41st, where some of those fabulous homes are, and it didn't take much to convince us of the need for this funding to really help improve and bolster the homes in our community that Community Homes runs. One of the reasons why funding for Community Homes for this project was so compelling as well is that it was really a public-private partnership. There was a need in the community members were stepping up, but could only take the project so far, and it really was a great role for government to come in and support that effort and make sure that we were keeping those homes safe and sound and accessible, so that we could keep them going and keep them serving people with disabilities in our community. You know, it's so important that we recognize everyone in our communities, and serving people with developmental disabilities and giving them the dignity and the home and the grounding and the care is just what community is all about, and it's an important role of government. So providing this funding, this infrastructure, this capital funding, it's really a no-brainer, but so important for our entire community to be better off.
Well, we thank you for that.
Yeah. Absolutely. I love working with Community Homes.